So I am really excited to use the Robo-Scorpion version of this gun. Tarantula whipped ass, so I'm excited to see what Robo-Scorpion does. I noticed there was a tape. Where was that tape that I ignored? At the satellite, at the antenna. There was a tape there that I just walked right past. Oh God, I started talking. My nose starts itching. Without fail. All right. Let's get out here and let's go back to the antenna first. Grab that tape. And then, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to toggle combat off. I've been here for a while, and frankly, I'm tired of doing all the combat. And we've beat the Robo-Scorpion, you know, unless I encounter some sort of new enemy. I'm kind of over it. Plus, also, once we confront Mobius, I want to just explore the map because there's a lot of map markers I don't have. Every single one of these dots and buildings is a map marker. And I've just been barreling through to get the main quest done. Just fine, because like I said in a previous video when I was in Higgs, I didn't sleep. I was going to sleep at the think tank. Hi guys. We're just friends now. Yeah? Love it. What was I saying? Oh. I don't remember. But if I were to play this game naturally on my own, I would explore a lot more. But I've just been barreling through the content because, you know, the more I wander around, the more I have to edit. There's Robo-Scorpions in here? God, Mobius. Can we not? There we go. Oh, it's the light switch. Sweet. Okay. Well, I'm happy. I'm happy I just came back and got that because I would have to otherwise. So now we gotta go to the Forbidden Zone, which is on the other end of the map. Like the exact opposite end of the map. Yeah, but we're friends now. They're not my enemies. Is it going to zap me back to the think tank if I try to go too far? To the sink? Let's give it a shot. Because don't those antennas mark the boundaries? Really let me go. There's really nothing out here. Well, maybe I'm far enough away from the monsters that I can, Why don't we just... Oh, yeah, look.
Who do you think is cuter? Dr. Klein or Dr. Boros?
Neither. 0 and 8. Yeah, we're getting so far out here now that this must be a mod I have, like Stewie's Tweaks or something. Oh, yeah. This is good stuff. Now we're in the guts. Okay, let's go back to the think tank. Let's sleep. Oh, let's get the light switch. Light switch.
Oh my. Partial functionality restored. That's less than optimal.
Hey, what function do you serve?
Dr. Mobius and I were deeply involved in research on the ability of light levels to enhance human cognition.
I don't want to know. What were the results, please?
We observed a fascinating phenomenon. Certain spectra of visible light actually increased cognitive function and reasoning ability. Of course, Dr. Mobius's brain is so big already, we had a hard time measuring it.
Can you turn the lights on for me?
As much as I'd love to, I'm afraid not. The data from that study has gone missing. You'll have to find a backup if you want to use the smart lights.
Okay.
Certainly. I'm looking forward to it.
So she can't do jack for me right now because I need to find the next part of her personality. Let's sleep. 1 hour should be enough, right? Yeah. I'm still radiated, but... Okay, now we should be able to fast travel to the Forbidden Zone. Here it is. I just walked right past it. And I don't think I missed anything here. I see all the things I miss when I'm editing. I'm like, just walk right by that. Because I'm so focused on whatever it is I'm doing.
We're all lit up. Is it Christmas?
That I don't stop to look around for the small things. All right, Mobius, let's talk. We'll just hit a save here. Here he is. Hey. Hey. You don't have anything to say to me?
Hmm? Oh, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing, you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright.
Thank you.
Little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely.
Is this better?
Depth perception is a problem with this old monitor of mine. Went black a while ago. That's old age for you. Should look at getting the visual nerves reattached. It's just that the right eye would see the wrong things. Flying tortoises were the worst.
I believe it.
Would you care for a mentat?
I would love a mentat. Yeah, thanks.
I love mentats. Delicious and smarty.
Mm-hmm.
I have all sorts of amazingly science-terrific thoughts and ideas when those chalky tablets are zipping through my biogel.
Whoa.
I forget them all not long after, though, especially with the data constipating my memory core. Afraid binary streams might shoot out my chassis.
You need help?
Had to start using the dome floor and walls here to inscribe equations, although I've somewhat lost track of where they start and end.
How do you write? I have to be frank, you weren't what I was expecting at all. Like an addled old man. Were all those scary messages just like things he recorded a long time ago, like 100 years ago or whatever? And they've been what's torturing the think tank, and he's just been over here addled.
Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Mobius is better than I.
I kind of like this one. Why did you steal my brain in the first place?
Oh, a variety of reasons. You're something of a homily. The anomaly? You're really quite special, and not in the cranially challenged way.
2010.
You see, you are the most successful brain extraction experiment ever performed here at Big Mountain. A victim of your own success, as it were. If you were to go back with what your brain knows about the procedure, well, your brain could be popped back in and you could walk right out of here. Can't have brains moving around of their own volition.
I was curious about some things.
Oh, curiosity. I experience that less now that I know everything. Oh, maybe it was when I found out some unpleasant answers. I can't fix your entire monitor, but if you're getting ghost reception, I can fix that. The ghosts aren't real? That changes everything. Why, I can save my computing power for other perceptual impossibilities. Please be my guest. The receptor is there, and the side-switching wobbly bob, just turn that. Good, good, better. Oh, yes, that feels wonderful. This is even better than my afternoon Mentats break.
Can you tell me about those robo-scorpions of yours? I really don't like them.
Well, every scientist needs an army. Mine came to me after these rather large scorpions kept coming in from the desert, like poisonous frosting. How scary, I thought, but they had survived when nothing else had. Perfect candidates for improvement as a reward for their tenacity. Then I thought, what if they shot energy bolts and acted as walking eyes and data-drained computers and acted as bullhorns? Then I made them bigger. Then I thought about custard. I do so love custard.
Me too.
Or was it mustard?
Mustard's good.
Mustard custard.
Not good.
I miss sugars and salts.
Well, you should have thought about that.
I find things curious as well. Go on.
You don't seem aggressive. Why broadcast thoughts to the think tank?
Oh, I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I sent that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. Then, watch out! So many chems, such varieties. Whenever I take Mentats, I can feel my entire chassis breathe like a big spherical lung. As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories in my tank all switched up. Go in the wrong tube. Still, served its purpose.
Wait. Sounds like you built the robo-scorpions, issued threats, just to keep the think tank occupied?
Did I? Maybe I did. Can't have them leaving. Some reason for it. Ethics or, conscience? You and your brain are quite alike. I'm sure it knows the reasons better than I do.
Well, but everything you've told me doesn't add up. Your plan? Even your name Mobius?
Dr. Mobius. Rather catchy, isn't it? It's my name, and my new name overwrote the old one. This name's as real as you or I. Although I believe your brain expressed similar incredulity at the nature of such an appellation. Someone's been watching too many old-world science fiction movies,
Yes.
it said. I believe it meant me.
Yes.
I must admit I have a vulnerability for holotape fantasies of planets and robots and all that is forbidden. As for the name I was born with, like the think tank, we were all reprogrammed to forget them, take on new names. It enforces the recursion loop in our perception programming.
This is like some real Captain Proton stuff. So you're telling me you just watched a bunch of 1950s science fiction movies, took too many drugs, and play acted out a fantasy, but were never really a threat in the first place. You reprogram their names as part of a recursion loop? What? To trap their processors?
Now, trap is a rather harsh word, like excrement. Not an inappropriate word, but still rather harsh. But, yes, I did take some liberties with their programming. It's all right, they don't remember. I certainly didn't until you said trap, and then I said excrement, and then...
A recursion loop is designed to prevent the flow of information. So...
The radar fence to keep the think tank hemmed in wasn't really enough. They keep testing things. They would have found a way to disarm it. I suspect I have Plan 9s in place, but I may have coded myself to forget them, just in case. They're probably very dangerous, lethal, or worse. So I had to do something else to keep them occupied here, or as you like to say, trapped. I prefer to have several Plan 9s in case the 7s fail.
9. Mobius, like Mobius strip. 0 is a circle. 8's an infinity symbol. They're all loops, I get it.
Oh, you figured it out. No pun intended. Dr. O, which is actually not his real name multiplied, since you can't multiply his real name in the first place. Ouroboros, Klein, they have all forgotten themselves. And not only themselves, but the world, sense of time, and history. All that is left is what's here. I reprogrammed their chronometers, geometers, and cartography programs. This is now their world, here, Big Mountain. It was a merciful lobotomy, really, thinking back. They were my friends, but sometimes they would take things too far.
Boros, for example.
The world isn't ready for that kind of too-far thing-taking. That's my professional opinion, anyway. And I am told I was once quite professional.
So your friends really aren't very ethical at all. Boros, we learned from Boros that you were experimenting on Chinese prisoners and then the American public. And Gabe was a perfect example. So did you lobotomize them essentially so they wouldn't go out into the wasteland and do terrible things? It's kind of an asshole thing to do to your friends. Minor detail, but a snake devouring its own tail is a Ouroboros, not an Ouroboros. What's the difference here? Oh, is it pronunciation? An Ouroboros versus an Ouroboros?
Really? It is so unlike me to make an error in anything I do.
I'm having a hard time understanding why you sent threats and the Robo-Scorpion army against a think tank. Like, why?
Well, it's simple. Despite their many failings, they are rather bright. They are the think tank for a reason. That I didn't change. Without something to distract them, make them afraid, they would simply deduce what had happened. And when they start deucing it up, then you came along, the final variable solved. They saw that their world was larger than they perceived. Bacteria, finally able to see its host.
There were other visitors. Why am I different?
There have been other visitors to make them doubt their perceptions, but you are the one who dialed back their monitor micromagnifiers. You were irrefutable proof that there was a world outside. And then there was the whole brain fiasco, which forced me to take steps. See, your brain had a special kind of wrinkle, a uniquity that they had never thought to try in all their countless escape attempts.
The bullet that went into my brain? Doc Mitchell tried to patch me up, but...
Yes, very good. I should have mentats ingest you instead of the other way around. Mentats. In any event, you showed up at the think tank, and because you had suffered a cranial injury in just the right place, bullets in the head are usually much more fatal.
Yes, Carla.
Yours was a light case of bullet headitis. But it was enough for the autodock in the sink to change its programming to fix the problem. And the brain extraction technology for once worked.
Huh.
That gave the think tank the knowledge its brains couldn't possess. With that knowledge, the procedure can be reversed. If they obtain that procedural data, they can use it to mush and modify their cranial selves into hosts to slip past the radar fence. I'm sure of it. And once they're off the reservation...
2010. Klein said they had the idea to get 3 technologies after your broadcast. Is that a coincidence?
I consider coincidence to be profanity, along with the words astrology, herbal tea, and luck. So watch it, potty mouth. My threat broadcast is designed to instill and install fear. And along with the emotional download, other data rides the fear carrier wave. It prompted them to focus on retrieving those technologies and bring them to attack me. And coincidentally, pardon my language, all those technologies are needed to put a brain, your brain, back into its skull properly.
But the think tank downloaded the schematics, not the items. They can always rebuild them.
Oh, that means my plan is a total failure. That is unfortunate. Oh well, at least I tried.
Was there any other data transmitted in your threat broadcast?
Yes, my overly aggressive cammed-up broadcast was designed to keep reinforcing the forget, fear, rinse, and repeat program. Oh, and the get me the things to castrate your only possible escape attempt. But I couldn't delete you or your arrival any more than I could the other visitors. Only so much science can do when you started talking to them. You're really quite difficult to ignore, you know. It's because you're, well, rather intriguing, if you'll forgive an old brain for saying so.
So what is the purpose of the technologies?
The X2 antenna can be used to focus your alpha wave frequency thought patterns. The sneaky suit? Why, it houses a cardiac regulator. And the sonic sound wave projecto emitter was never intended as a weapon. It was a medicinal vertebrae pulse desensitizer. In short, brains, a heart, and courage. Spine. I think there was a story once where a band of murderous thugs sought these things. They had them all the time in the story. Didn't stop them from murdering to get them. And it won't stop the think tank either.
Okay, I have other questions.
Yes, this is getting interesting. You are just filled with these little slices of curiosity, aren't you?
Intelligence 10, what can I say? Is that it? Well, I guess I'm here to kill you?
Oh, intriguing. I've never been killed before. Although, after that time I got that phlegmy discharge in my biogel, I wish
Me every morning.
had been. Well, if there's going to be killing, I defer to your expertise in this matter. How should we begin? Engineering viruses, cancerratic beams, atomics, electrocutioning? Or should I summon my minions? Yes, my minions.
What minions?
Whoa, have they not constructed themselves yet? That's a bit premature of me. The Robo-Scorpions, of course. They can assemble themselves from floor panels and parts scattered about. Quite inventive. Never really know when they might suddenly appear. Minions, destroy this intruder! Or perhaps make it more dramatic. Minions, to me!
Is there not a peaceful solution to this?
Oh, yes, that's quite a bit better. Attacking!
I'm going to look it up to see if there's a peaceful solution to this, because I feel bad killing Mobius. Here we go. Here's some other things. So if I don't get my brain back in my head, I can't leave. Ever?
Oh, no. I doubt your brain would be so unreasonable. It already knows the trick of it, you see. Doesn't need to be in a host body at all. If you become friends or exist in an uneasy truce with weapons aimed at each other, it would unlock the fence for you. Well,
too many movies.
The think tank was dealt with, of course. Your brain is a responsible sort. Doesn't want mad scientists running around everywhere.
Yeah, you got a point.
Yes.
Do you know anything about the other visitors?
Not much, except they contaminated Big Mountain and installed new ideas in the think tank.
It's bound to happen.
One caused a great deal of infrastructure damage with his brain and smartiness. Ruthless, that one. Played a little rough with the trains. But the last one was the most dangerous. Him slipping away. That was almost as bad as the think tank escaping.
What do you mean?
The first one, the ruthless one who smashed up our toy trains, asked for weapons, power, items he could use to destroy a nation with force. The other asked a different question, and with it got the true answer about what makes nations.
That must be Ulysses.
And what breaks them. He spoke to the think tank, to Klein, showed them the flag of the old world, and it made them remember all of it, all that had happened. They shared things with him that they shouldn't. He now carries those ideas, that knowledge elsewhere.
So I think after I exhaust these options, I should get the peaceful ending. I need my brain back.
Do you? You seem fine without it. And does it even want to go back with you?
Good question.
Maybe you should ask it. It's quite independent, has all manner of opinions. Tell you what, I'll leave it up to your brain. If it wants to go, then fine. If not, well, you should respect its wishes.
To be honest, I really don't want it. Okay, time for me to go. Goodbye.
Indeed. The goodbye part of our little chat, then. Goodbye. Please mind the equations on the floor.
Okay, so we didn't have to kill Mobius. You just have to go back and do the perception and the gun and all of those checks. You know, when it presents you with 3 about your brain. You literally have to just do every check in the conversation, looping back to redo them. Not really intuitive, but we did it. Oh yeah. There are some. Oh, is this my brain? Hi. How are you?
Well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
Why do you sound so masculine?
Well, as to that, you'd be surprised how hard a feminine-sounding voice modulator is to find in the Forbidden Zone.
Fair.
It's not as though brain-sustaining life support tanks grow on trees. I had to take what I could get.
Are you my brain?
Lovely. Figure that out,
My brain's a dick.
Would you like a cookie?
Why are you such a dick?
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, dick, unquote. As if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes.
You are?
I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. And have we forgotten who got a shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? Hmm? Do you think I enjoyed that little moment?
Of course you're responsible. You're my brain.
I most certainly am not. I'm the seat of all reason and logic in our little partnership. All those feelings that motivate you, that sense of righteousness and that rush you get when you help someone, do you know where those come from? Glands. They come from glands. Free of the tyranny of your ape-like and primitive endocrine system, I can see how foolish your motives are.
Okay, but you're the source of most of those glands. Unless you're arguing that my thyroid is to blame?
Well, look, it's all a very complex system of biofeedback and other things I wouldn't expect you to understand.
Oh, come on. That stuff's fun.
Fun? Fun? Is tetanus fun? Is rickets? What about sepsis, huh? Enjoy that, do we? The things you do with our body are suicidally dangerous, and if you could silence your glandular impulses, you would hear me screaming at you!
Don't you want to be reunited? I mean, I kind of thought you'd be happy to get back in my head.
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions.
You love those.
Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
But what about all the good things? What about, like, a cool breeze on your cheek, the smell of food, our love for Boone?
Overrated biological feedback. Believe me, you only feel that way because you've got all that meat. Oozing hormones.
Well, isn't it just as true that you only feel this way because you're lacking those hormones?
I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it?
Well, so we're at an impasse. You can't feel what I feel, and I can't think the way you think.
Indeed. Quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it?
Well, maybe we could keep going like this. What do you think?
You mean I'll stay in my tank and you'll stay in your skin? And we'll each handle our own areas of expertise?
Sure.
I certainly like the sound of that.
Spot around. Okay, all right. Maybe I've just been a little unfair. If you want to stay here, I'll let you.
It's not that I didn't like being in your head, you understand. As far as heads go, it was a rather nice one. Well then, I suppose this is goodbye for now. What will you do?
Maybe I'll explore the big mountain a little bit more before I go back to the think tank.
Will you take some free advice from your brain? Don't trust the think tank. They aren't right. In the brain, I mean. They're fiercely protective of their technology, and none of them is likely to share it willingly.
What? They promised to put us back together once I did what they wanted.
And you believe them? Really? I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but... Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
Dala would do that, probably. Okay, well, you're a part of me, and I know you don't want to let that happen any more than I do.
Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day. All right, what's the plan?
I'll handle the brains. You stay right here. I think you'll be more useful outside my head.
That arrangement suits me fine. Do try not to get too many holes drilled in your head, will you? I may want to drop by for sentimental reasons. Right then, you'd best be off, hadn't you? The think tank will be waiting. No, don't worry about me. When you're gone, I'll flush myself over to the sink. It's amazing how far you can get in this place with a good flush.
Whoosh.
I'll keep myself hidden in the ductwork. Klein won't suspect I'm inside the dome, so he won't know the pacification field no longer works on us. I can also upgrade the sink's autodock with the procedures to reinstall your heart and spine, assuming you want all that flesh and gristle back.
Nah.
With any luck, I'll see you in the sink when this is all over.
Whoa. Ambient noise. Like Klein, Dr. Mobius also has a set of scientific
Calculations.
based clothes. I'll have to look where to get them because I honestly don't remember. Look at this big bot. Jeez. Huh. Oh, now we have to go back to the think tank and talk them down. I just want all these brains to peacefully coexist in the big mountain without leaving and doing weird experiments on the Mojave wasteland population. Oh no. I was playing Repo last night, and there's no fall damage in Repo. So, just jumping willy-nilly to my heart's content. After I play enough Starfield, if I come back to another Bethesda game, Skyrim or Fallout 4 or whatever, if I try to jump, I'll try to jump far, like big heights, and try to use my jetpack. And I'm like, there's no jetpack in this game. It's because all Bethesda games fundamentally feel the same on a certain level, right? So even though the subject matter is quite different, the way you move, the way you have your hands out in front of you, etc., it just fools my brain into thinking after I've played Starfield long enough, oh, I've got a jetpack. My ape brain, my kicks in. I mean, my brain is an ape brain all the time. But my lizard brain, I guess is what I mean, kicks in and I just start trying to fly. Where am I? Oh, what's this? We finished up the design for the dispensers for the Sierra Madre Villa as requested. That big wig Sinclair went to the big mountain execs. He wanted emergency dispensers for a sheltered villa in case war broke out, and they needed to care for the survivors there. He's done everything he can to isolate the community and tighten the security, but he just needs to guarantee a food supply and be able to ration out resources in the event of nuclear holocaust. I hear he even narrowed the streets so cars couldn't come inside the town, let alone come up to the villa. Got the funding from Sinclair. Near as I can tell, he's willing to not only bankrupt himself for these devices, he struck a deal with the big mountain execs, letting the villa become a lab for the supposedly harmless prototype tech there. I've seen the big mountain execs do this with other isolated towns. Hopeville Meteorological Research up north. And the whole process is not what I signed up for. Okay. Just a little lore, I guess. Nowhere to actually go into. X-22. Oh, can we get up there? I was looking at notable loot, and there's not like a ton. Oh, it had the AE ligature. Here we go. This will get us up there. I remember there being bad guys up here, but I've got combat off. Yeah. What? Oh, it's because I had to, what are these? They're like, oh, they're like Mirelurks, basically. Yeah, I don't care. I've been in New Vegas for way too long. Is that all that you're guarding? It was just some seeds? Is there anything else in here? Got a hot plate. Oh, I mean, there's stuff we can pick. My radiation was really bad. I knew it was showing it as red, but good Lord. All right, let's see what's in X17. I remember it saying there was some stuff in here. So let's see what we can find. Hello? Anything good in here? Yeah, because we do want to find all the personalities. Hi. You seen a personality module around? Was that a Mr. Gutsy? Looks like it. Oh, look at this model village. Cute. Oh, a snow globe. Sweet. Okay. I went, as you saw a little bit of, I went out and about and the sun in Seattle's out. It's been sunny for the last 2 days, so I'm very bright right now. Anyway, I went out and did some exploring, and we got some modules.
You! Hey, you! Yeah, you! Got any mugs?
Yeah, I do. Why do you want them?
Why do you want mugs, huh? You some kind of sick mug hoarder? Oh, God, give me the coffee cup, please! It's sitting there in your pack, taunting me! Sorry. Sorry. I got a little carried away. It's just all those goddamn dirty dishes out there with no one to clean them. It breaks my heart!
Whoa, Muggy, you really seem obsessed with mugs.
Of course I'm obsessed. They made me this way. You think I don't know how crazy I sound? Of course I do. They programmed me to know that too.
Rude. Oh, man.
They made me just to torture me. But you know, it's the neglect that hurts the most. Hey, everybody, let's turn ourselves into robot brains in jars. Do you know how many coffee cups giant robot brains in jars use on a daily basis? Not fucking many!
Well, what do you do with the mugs?
I'm supposed to keep them clean. Oh, God! The thought of all those dirty dishes out there makes me crazy. Most of them are probably beyond saving now. The only thing left is break them down and process them for raw materials. I guess you could have those.
Can you do anything else?
Anything else, she asks. Like I don't long for the chance to be more than a neurotic busboy.
I mean...
If you must know, at one point, Dr. Mobius programmed me to manufacture electronic components in my central chassis. That module got corroded when the toaster spilled hot crumbs down my vent stove.
Toaster.
If you find a backup somewhere, I could maybe do that for you.
Okay.
Is the new subject mugs?
But I like my mugs.
Oh, sweet, sweet fulfillment! I'll break these down for you just as fast as I can.
All right, I can always find more mugs.
One time, the biological research station told me he dropped a mug down his processing chute. When I reached in...
I don't need to know about that, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, let's see. There we go.
Good day, citizen. Library Processing Unit 232.7 is online and ready to eradicate sedition.
Eradicate sedition?
Of course, citizen. That's my duty and sole joy in life. All those books from before the war, full of seditious, treasonous, complicated thoughts. Just dump them in and lickety-split. I'll have them pulped, scrubbed clean, and pressed out again clean and white and sedition-free.
It's depressing. Can you do anything besides process books?
What good is eradicating sedition if the malcontents have ready access to the means to make more, citizen? I can also process pencils and clipboards. Wait a moment. Pencil processors offline? Pencil processors offline? Apologies, citizen. It seems traitors have absconded with that module. If you can find a backup copy of the module, I will happily eradicate your ability to create seditious literature.
So you make blank books? What's the point of that?
Blank books are better for the mind, citizen. Real science by real men in lab coats has proved that introducing outside thoughts confuses the brain. Blank books encourage the reader not to question, but to blindly and zealously accept what's put in front of him. Also, I suppose you could use them to keep a journal.
But those books are a less legacy of the time before. You can't destroy them.
Citizen, that sounds dangerously seditious. If my reindoctrination module was installed, I'd take care of that for you. Sadly, that system was cut for budget concerns, so you'll have to perform your own indoctrination.
Oh, okay.
Now, to begin with, you'll need a cage that can fit over your head and a sack of mole rats.
Blank books, huh? Yeah, I think I can find a use for those.
Now you're thinking like a citizen.
I think we use the blank books for the recipes we found around the,
Questions are dangerously close to independent thought, citizen. Stay loyal, citizen.
I think we can use the blank books to make the recipes for all the we found all those recipes for books, and I think we can use the blank books for that. We've embraced the soothing darkness of night. No more bright sun out the window. It can't hurt us anymore. I think what I want to do before we talk to the think tank is finish getting the personality modules, and I'm gonna run and get them, and you're not going to have to watch them. Because one thing I'm realizing about New Vegas is Old World Blues. It's a lot of tiny little buildings.
Looking at the other light switch, you know she's riddled with viri, don't you?
Nobody's gonna talk to me in here. It's a lot of little buildings with one thing in them. Just one thing. And maybe some energy ammo. And it's not a very satisfying experience to really watch or play. So I'm just going to do that. I've got my wiki pulled up. All right, so we got all of the personality modules. Let's slot them in.
Ooh, oh yeah, baby. Feels good to be online again. Yeah, all circuits online, ready to receive your seed.
What does that mean?
It's the miracle of life, baby. You bring me some succulent genetic samples, and I'll work my mojo on them. Clone you up all kinds of plants.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have to be so gross about it?
I can also break them down for you, if you're into the kinky stuff. Bring me any old plant parts, and I'll grind them up into salient cream for you. Yeah, you like that, don't you, baby?
So if I bring you samples of dried plant life, you can clone them and grow them in these planters?
You know it, baby. I just need some samples, and I got you going. Take a few days, but trust me, it's all kinds of good.
What's salient green?
Just the miracle of life in sticky, gooey liquid form, baby. Heat that gunk up over a campfire and just watch it congeal into all kinds of plants.
All right, have some of the seed.
Baby.
Found one.
Just slip it in there, all the way down in that dark, moist earth. Launching interface.
I think I'll... Oh, I have 2. 3. Ooh. Stuff I picked up in the botanical garden, right? All right, so that's over. Let's talk to this.
Well, how about that? Old auto doc's back online. Well, all right, come here. Let's have a look at you.
All right.
You are, without a doubt, the healthiest son of a bitch I've ever seen wandering the big empty. Ain't got no use for an old digital sawbones like me.
It's not true. Well, can you do anything beyond healing me?
Well, firstly, I would say providing wholeness of the body is service enough, but if you must know, I'm also programmed with cosmetical subroutines. Diagnostics says they're offline at the moment, though. Something about corrupted data files and all manner of such foolishness. If you want a haircut or a nose job that won't leave you looking like a ghoul with alopecia, you'll have to find replacement discs for them.
I got him.
Also, and I won't swear to this, but I recollect at some point having a few implant installation modules. Can't speak to where they got to, though.
They're expensive. I'd like to engage your services.
And rightly so, I should think. All right, then. Let me just fire up the old interface for you.
Cool. Oh, you can swap your body parts. That's right. Let's just do a basic physical exam. Okay, fix my radiation. And I don't have to install all the things, right? It just looked like
You require some additional services?
they were already in there. Can you... Oh, what is this? Does it,
Well,
change, like, my perks or something? Book shoot. Do I have more stuff for you? Upgrade holotape. Okay.
Greetings, citizen.
All right. So I can bring him
Do you like me?
clipboards and stuff. Muggy, I got anything for you? Oh, yeah. He can supply energy cells, microfusion cells, and scrap electronics. Oh,
Oh, please, please tell me you brought me some coffee.
I got some. There, take whatever you want.
Oh,
Here you go.
oh, please, please.
Do you have any electronic components? All right. Have you made any more? Yeah, okay. I don't need to know more about Muggy. Oh, toaster.
I am online once again! Tremble, world, before my electric heating coil of doom!
Tremble. You're a toaster. How fearsome can you be?
A toaster is just a death ray with a smaller power supply. As soon as I figure out how to tap into the main reactors,
Oh, no.
I will burn the world!
Oh, no, we're not doing that. Well, I'm for one, and quicking in my boots.
Buddy, if my heating element were just a little bigger, you'd be on fire right now! On fire!
Wild rage.
Have you ever tried to indulge in all-consuming urge to kill when you don't have opposable thumbs? Or hands?
Mobius?
Or anything other than a bread slot?
What is wrong
Have
with
a lot of
the stuff
pent-up
you made?
anger, too.
All right, I'd like to change the subject.
Well, since I can't kill you, I guess I have to listen to your inane questions. You should be afraid! I am the scourge of all small appliances, and the boogeyman that keeps lesser toasters awake at night!
So you murder toasters? Oh, I can bring him other toasters.
Not just murder! I tear them apart and render them down to their base components! Once their guts are spilled, you can do with them what you like!
So, pencils, clipboards, dishes, toasters. So I can just start picking up junk and bring it here.
You want some weapon schematics? I can show you some fucking weapon schematics!
Potty
You
mouth.
want a superheated Saturday power fist? I can hook that shit up!
Nah. All right, I'll keep an eye out for fists.
You find one, you bring it on back here, and we'll burn this mother down!
I love this guy. Let's see, do I have anything else for him?
Yes!
Okay, no, I don't. You know the world already burned in nuclear fire, right?
Soon I will... What? It did?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a couple centuries ago, in fact.
Really? Well, fuck!
Mm-hmm.
That really puts a damper on the toaster's mood. Oh well. No use crying over spilled Armageddon.
No, sorry.
Where was I? Oh, right. Soon the world will burn in nuclear fire! Again!
Yeah. All right. I mean,
Yeah!
why not once again?
Forceps, nurse.
That was a nice little cat nap. How long was I out?
What are you? Some sort of novelty talking light switch?
I was Dr. Mobius's personal assistant. We were studying, oh shoot, what was it? Oh yeah, lightning! No, wait, lighting. That's That's right, how lighting affects human interaction.
Mm-hmm. And what did you find out?
Oh, it was super exciting. It turns out that some pretty colored lights can make you way better at talking to people.
Can you turn those lights on for me?
Oh, I'd love to.
Okay.
You'd have to go out.
Yeah. I saw another light switch in the other room. Do you control that one too? Ooh.
Oh, her. Trust me, sweetie, you're better off not thinking about that frigid little ice queen.
It sounds like there's some bad blood between you. Or, I guess circuits?
That bitch. She thinks she's so much better than everybody just because her processors are bigger.
Well,
Ooh, she makes me so mad.
okay. Forget I said anything.
Sure thing, sweetie.
No, that was easy. Oh,
God, look at you.
This
You're
sink.
filthy. I suppose you'll want to clean up then?
I just came over to fill some of these empty bottles.
Oh, I'd love to, darling, but the circuits that allow me to dispense water into non-organic containers burned out years ago. You'd have to find a replacement for that module.
You seem kind of worried about dirt. What's wrong?
Oh, it's just so unsanitary. Do you know how many germs are in 1 cubic centimeter of dirt? 70, 100, gajillion.
That's not a number.
Would you want that getting washed down your gullet day in and day out? I didn't think so.
Well, I have a stomach that pretty much kills anything that goes in it. Not everything, but most everything. I just like a drink.
You can have as much as you like. Just, please don't put your lips on the faucet. It's so unsanitary.
All right. So I think, is that everyone? Is everyone. So now that quest is done, and we'll get the updated one where we have to find the rest of the upgrades. Now the good news is we found quite a few of them, so this won't be so annoying. Smarter lights. Oh, so you get exposed and you get...
How can I illuminate you?
Can you turn those lights on for me?
I certainly...
Okay. So now for 12 hours, I get a bonus. And what's she gonna do? Charisma. Okay, so she's the speech
You've
one.
been seeing the other light. You...
Sure. Let's do the mood lighting. And what else do we got? I think we got one for the dock here. Yep.
You require some additional...
Nope, I just wanted to give you that.
Well,
And the sink. So now we can...
Between you and me, I think the Central Intelligence Unit is a bit of a snob.
Is it the accent? Okay. I just came over to fill some of these empty bottles.
You're going to need to find your...
Yeah, I don't have any empties. Okay. So now we got all these friends upgraded. Hooray!
Greetings, citizen.
You know what? I got some seditious material for you. Here you go. And Muggy, I got some stuff for you. Yeah, but I got you some. Here you go.
Oh,
Here you go. You want some seeds? I got some seeds for you, bud. Here you go.
You got some plans for me.
Yeah, I do. Here you go. I'd like to process some plants. Okay, there we go. That's it. Whoa. There were a lot of plants in there. But for the love of God, let's talk to the think tank and be done. Let's see if we can make Klein make sure you're prepared to finish this for once and be done with it. I think we can do this. You're there. Hi.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
Oh. Hey, you may have noticed the pacification field is down. Guess what happens now?
A fight? I've never been in a fight. What do I... Colleagues! Think tank! Alert! Alert! We are under attack!
How do I not kill them? I'm not handing over my brain, Klein. There's some things we should discuss.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments.
You're actually the bad guys, and the only reason I'm letting you live is because I like 8 and 0. Let's see. You think I am the lobotomite? No, for my skull houses the brain of Mobius.
That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. There's no way Mobius would condescend to step inside you. Besides, there's no way such a thing could be accomplished. It's impossible.
Ooh, so I'm going to have to reload and either up my science 100 or my medicine 15. She gives me...
How can I illuminate? Unlike
She gives me repair and just 5, so that I need 10 more science or 15 more medicine. Let's see. Does Mobius's... Okay, no. Ooh, Klein's scrubs give me some good stuff. Mobius's scrubs. That's what I want. Now, let's see what I look like. How cool do I look? I really look like a Captain Proton character. This was 2010? Is that right? And Voyager was on in the 90s? Yeah. This was 2010? Is that right? Yeah, because I was in law school. Yeah.
The lobotomite.
Okay. Here we go. Nothing is impossible for science. Mesons, lasers, atoms, brainwaves, all are at my command.
You speak the truth. And the decibel variation in your voice. It is Mobius. How dare you breach the think tank? And what do you want here?
I offer a deal. Stay here. Stay put. And I'll let you live.
That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm.
Fine. I will permit you to do this for me.
Partner with you? My foe? My rival? My foremost critic? I have a strange sensation that I would like that.
Mm-hmm.
How odd. Very well, partner. The think tank is at your service as long as you do not destroy us.
Okay. Ooh. Now Mobius's glasses are here somewhere. It said I think they're in his room. Let me see if I can find them. There they are, right on the floor. Ta-da! That's it. We did it. I think we're done with Old World Blues. Oh my God. Can you even believe it? Leave the think tank. We can retrieve our spine. We don't want to do that. We just leave the think tank, and I'm probably going to get the, we're going to get the cutscene telling us the ramifications of our actions. Yeah, let's do it.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discovery safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The courier had scoured much of the Big Empty, although secrets still remained in the crater's depths. Perhaps that was for the best, however. Curiosity, while sometimes rewarded for its efforts, often proves to be equally dangerous.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The Biological Research Station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magneto-hydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other Sync personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub. Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind old Jefferson, with sounds the courier brought him, created a symphonic counter-frequency that saved Big Mountain from sonic invasion in 2910. If you didn't hear about it, good. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names much too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after the stealth suit had left it without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
The courier left the brain at the Big Empty. A strange thing to say, but it was the truth. Brains are less important than they may seem. When the courier's body finally passed, the brain was saddened. It kept on, remembering the vessel that had once contained it. Even at the end, when it started to fail, however, the brain resisted going into a floating chassis like the think tank. It never said why. Perhaps it was out of respect for the courier's body. All things must come to an end, and to hang on to the past is something that's not to be undertaken lightly.
Dr. Klein and the think tank remained alive, unaware of the world outside. They looped through their daily routine, none the wiser about the world beyond, although perhaps wiser was the wrong word. The world outside belonged to the courier, and if anyone would shape it, well, the courier had already called dibs.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, Old World Blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The Sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
I will ride forth at the head of my armies.
All right. Well, I'll see you in the Mojave. And until then, wander safe. Bye.
And we will crush our foes and hear the weeping of the small appliances.
If Sir would press Sir's spinal area against my primary instrument panel, I might vibrate at a soothing frequency.